with the commish, Nate.
Hey, welcome to Press Pass Live, your weekly OMFL podcast show, the world's oldest and longest online CFM. Let me welcome in my buddy, the co-host, the commissioner of the Deuce, Mr. Maniac. How you doing tonight, bud? Both of us coming to you from a frigid Texas and New Orleans, man.
It is cold.
The sleet and ice has already started for us. We expect snow sometime overnight and then beginning tomorrow and then going all day till like 9 o'clock tomorrow. It's supposed to snow here. So not a natural occurrence of a blizzard in New Orleans is going to be taking place tomorrow. And I got meetings all day, so I won't even get to enjoy it until the afternoon. But I do plan on trying to enjoy a once-in-a-lifetime event. Mr. Maniac, are you ready to dive into this thing, buddy? Well, let's take a look right now. Yeah, Randy, I can't even wrap my head around that. So I'm going to let that go ahead and sit with y'all over there because that just doesn't make any kind of sense to me. Let's look at a couple of games that have already happened in week 1, 2, and 3. Mr. D. Wayne was going to do this, but he is not able to be here tonight. So me and you can do it. We can break it down a little bit. Irish making it a game late. I turned it off, Priest, so you have to give us some updates. Let's look at week number 1. We'll run through a handful of games here that kind of caught my eye, and feel free after that to throw in some that caught your eye. Carolina and Atlanta going at it. Carolina with a 35-31 victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Fleury moving over to his new team and getting it straight out of the gate, having to deal with the divisional champ Bird and the Carolina Panthers. That's always going to be a pretty tough ask over there. And then anytime you win or lose one of these divisional games, they always feel like they count as two. And so a game that not only is crazy important in the long-term standings, but a game that means a whole lot early in a season. You see this one was a lot of scoring early in this game, and then third quarter it started to slow down and even slower in the fourth quarter, but they still put up a ton of points, 35-31. All kinds of, let me do this. Hold on. It's going to help me see. So I can't see this the way I want to see it. So let me make this really larger and see if I can see some stats here. Offensive yards, 372 for the Panthers to 490 in the Fleury and those Atlanta Falcons. 417 passing yards for the Falcons. 131 rushing yards for the Carolina Panthers. 2 turnovers for the Falcons. Red zone percentage was 4 touchdowns for the Panthers. Only 1 for the Atlanta Falcons with 1 field goal and a 30-29 time of possession. Almost absolutely even at 29-49 to 30-11. We'll look at a couple of player stats here. Young with a heck of a day, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Penix, not a bad day, 417 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, though. Both guys way over 65% completion percentage. 99 rushing yards for Brooks and 1 touchdown. 2 touchdowns for Trail Drummond, a rookie out of Georgia for the Carolina Panthers. Getting a handful of carries, but a couple of touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., my gosh, 11 receptions, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. And then looking at a couple of defensive leaders, a couple of guys with sacks from the Atlanta Falcons, 1 from Khalil Mack. He's still getting it done in his advanced stage of his career. Brandon Stevenson's with an interception, and Carrington Valentine with an interception. Carolina with a big victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, this was a force. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I just called a sim game. That's all. You know what? I quit. Maniac, you give me one. What do you think is a game that caught your attention in week number 1? Yeah. Hold on, Maniac. Hold on. Give me a test. They're saying they can't hear you. Oh, hold on a second. Why? Why would they not be able to hear you? All right, let's try something real fast. 5 minutes late on that. Give me another test mic. No, it ain't us. It's Discord. So let me do this. Let me close Discord, open it back up. I will be right back, Maniac. It is a Discord issue. Hold on one second. All right, we're going to close that. We're going to reopen that. We're going to say that was a terrible experience. There we go. There. Reconnect. I should be back with you, Mr. Maniac. Give me a test.
Test.
Okay, there he is. He's back. Don't know what happened, y'all. Discord just said, no, it's not going to work. I'm not going to allow it to work. But they can hear you now, bud.
Yeah, so Discord's cold, I guess, also.
Very cold.
Yeah, the game they're looking at, Green Bay taking on the Giants, and the Giants just represented the NFC in the OMFL Bowl. Played a really great season, and looking at this the stats, both guys had almost 400 or over 400 yards total offensive yards gained through the game. But the one stat that I would not have guessed ever would have been the turnover battle being won by Priest. Priest has had to tip the hat to you, causing the Giants to give 4 turnovers there. That's really the big stat in this game. And then also Green Bay having a 29-point third quarter, according to the box score there. So that's just absolutely phenomenal. Did look at another stat on the box scores. 0 red zone offensive touchdowns for the Packers compared to 4 for the Giants. So everything was looked like scored from long distance for the Packers in that game. So especially there in that third quarter, looks like Manning had a pretty decent game. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked twice. Givens had a solid game, but still the 3 turnovers there. Went 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. But man, both these guys just play really solid, and looking at their rushing attack, both guys like to run the ball, and you can see that from the stats there. Lloyd had 2 touchdowns on just 3 carries, so I mean he was getting it done on the ground. Still got some carries in as well for the Giants. Had a touchdown, so a lot of these guys really just like to run the ball, and these 2 guys did that, and you can see that from the stats, man. And what a game! Again, I had to give it to Priest. I'm going to try to cut it short here, but have to give it to Priest, man, because what a great way to start off your new season, beating the defending NFC champion.
Absolutely. A couple other games, we won't touch on them right now, but Tennessee with a 41-33 victory over Cincinnati Bengals. That one's probably simmed twice just because I'm talking about it. Pittsburgh with a 37-31 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars and Mr. Nicehunger. Vegas with a 17-15 victory over my Saints. Seattle falls barely to the Dallas Cowboys, 31-28. A 20-17 victory against you and the New York Jets. That was a really good game, and another one where I was like, how does Buffalo keep doing this? They just keep finding a way to win these games. The Rams with a 27-21 victory for Mr. Logan before he swapped teams. So a big victory there for those LA Rams. Let's look at week number 2. Couple of games. We'll touch on a few of these. Now let Maniac pick one, and I'll pick one. Maniac, I'll let you go first. Baltimore beats Philadelphia 28-17. Chargers with a 26-20 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Detroit Lions with a 20-14 victory over my New Orleans Saints. I'm pretty sure I just seen another outside run and maybe a zone defense in there somewhere. I'm not sure. In between the blitzes, Miami Dolphins fall to the Buffalo Bills 27-7. 17. A New England New York Jets game, 55-41. No one wanted to play defense in that game. Green Bay with a 36 victory over the Chicago Bears. Kansas City 38, Denver 35. The Rams with a 26-21 victory over the San Francisco 49ers. Again, right before Logan left that team. And then finally Atlanta with a 28-14 victory over Big Hurt and the Minnesota Vikings, losing to his old team. Which one of those you want to talk about?
Definitely want to talk about the Rams and the 49ers. I think both these guys have done great jobs on building their teams. I know the 49ers had a little bit advantage coming into this Madden, with the 49ers being the representative, or one of the top representatives from the NFC. The Rams, not so much. But, man, I had to give it to Logan, building a great team here. And the one stat that I'm looking at, and it's almost like impossible to believe that someone would beat D-Money so badly on the rushing stats, but the Rams, 126 yards on the ground compared to 25 for the 49ers. Just absolutely mind-blowing there. Just really, both guys didn't turn over the ball. And again, you see close games, most of the time turnovers do affect the game, but both guys were really careful with the ball here and stuff. So LA Rams looked like they had a 9-point fourth quarter, which kind of may have solidified the win for them. The quarterbacks here for both teams, Scully, he had 3 touchdowns. He really seems like he's kind of like pushing the passing so far this season with his team, and maybe he's having struggles with the running attack as well, as you see from this game. But Scully was really on point, 18-27, 3 touchdowns. To Tagovailoa, he was 17-26, still really had a good game here, 215 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. But again, we talk about the rushing stats. Travis hitting in 15 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. He was averaging nearly 7 yards a carry. So he was just absolutely dominating the rushing attack. Scarborough only was able to manage four carries for 23 yards. And then Garindo had 6 for 2.
That's crazy.
That's just absolutely unthinkable from what we've seen from D-Money. So kudos to the Rams for playing extremely good defense. Looked like their top tackler in this game would have been Reed from the cornerback position. But, man, no sacks given up in this game, no interceptions. It was just a real clean game from the turnover standpoint, but the Rams just played absolutely good run defense, shut down the 49ers, made them one-dimensional, and came out with a victory here. So kudos to Logan for that victory.
Yeah, just a crazy game there in that one. And to watch him give that team up, and walk away, that's to me is even a crazier thing. But he wanted a new challenge. I want to talk about the Jets and New England really quick. An offensive explosion, especially with some of these early Madden numbers. 390 yards for the Patriots, 421 yards for the New York Jets, 104 rushing yards for the Jets, 323 passing yards for the New England Patriots, 18 first downs to 21. And I don't think I've had that many all season long. 5 turnovers for the New England Patriots. To lose a game this close and know you turn the ball over 5 times, that's just got to hurt. 572 total yards for the Patriots, 559 total yards for the New York Jets. The red zone offensive touchdowns, 4-3, 14 minutes and 21 seconds time of possession to 21:39 for the Jets. McDimes really was on fire today. 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rusty Starr, though, struggled. 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The Jets, even though they dealt away their best defensive players, still getting it done on the defensive side of the ball. Both teams doing pretty good in the running game defense. 61 yards for Stevenson, 57 for Hall. Both of those guys each had a touchdown. But Errol Lowry, 12 receptions, 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. He really had his way. And then Scary Terry McLaurin had 4 for 102 and 1 touchdown along a 50. Looking at some defensive leaders, Christian Gonzalez had 10 tackles on the day. Steven Beckton, he is just a playmaker and making plays at right end right there for the Jets with 3 tackles for a loss. And then only 1 sack on the day for Javon Hargrave, a defensive tackle for the Jets, getting a sack on the day. And the Jets with a big-time victory there here early in season 113. Let's take a look at week number 3. Not all the games are in, but some of them are. Miami falls to Seattle 24-34. Houston barely falls to the Jets 48-31. I guess I shouldn't say barely, but just an offensive explosion, which normally happens with the Houston Texans. Indianapolis with the shocker of week number 3, 27-23. Randy and his Colts are back, and they are ready to keep playing ball. San Francisco bounces back with a 17-14 victory over the Denver Broncos. The Giants with the 21-14 victory over the Eagles. Green Bay with a 17-13 victory over my Saints. And the Chargers, I think this was a CPU game. I could be totally wrong with that because I think he said that this one was actually played by Logan. Now that I think about it, 45-6, Logan making a statement with his first game with his brand new team. What's a game you want to talk about here in week number 3?
Man, there's several that could be talked about, even with there still being games out to be played, but you can't look past the Colts and the Cowboys. I mean, that is a big win for Bronco Man coming in. Man, I've got a voice bubble coming up in my throat right now, but just a huge win to come out with a victory against the Cowboys. We know what the Cowboys are about: run the ball, control the ball. But I will say that Dwayne has been pretty efficient passing the ball so far this Madden, and it seems like he's done a pretty good job. I think up until this point, I didn't look and see if he threw an interception. I know before this game I noticed that he hadn't thrown an interception yet. But offensive rushing yards, 178 for the Cowboys, 55 for the Colts. Passing yards, 265 for the Colts, 256 for the Cowboys. First downs, no contest. Cowboys 21-11. Yeah, I mean, you start looking at this, you're like thinking like, oh yeah, the Cowboys dominated this, but then you look at the scoreboard, it's like, no, they didn't. Third down conversions, Cowboys got the nod on that one. Red zone touchdowns, though, the Colts did win that. And the time of possession,
23-12.
Yeah. When did he have the ball? When could he score? But that's kind of when you start looking at it. It's like, man, when did he have the ball enough to score? But and Prescott, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was careful with the ball there, but he didn't turn anything over. The one touchdown there for Richardson, 12 of 18. He's really efficient in that game, just through the 18 times. That almost looks like a role reverse. That should be like a Dwayne stat right there, 12 of 18. But Richardson getting the ball done there for the Colts. McMullen, he is a beast. No way to put it, man. He is just an absolute beast. 21 carries, 92 yards, a little over 4 yards of carry and a touchdown. Prescott, them old legs getting them moving again. 5 carries for 50 yards. Don't see a whole lot from the Colts. Looked like he had
his leading rusher was his quarterback.
Yeah. So I was trying to see if he actually got enough rushing attempts. I guess if you count the quarterback rushing attempts,
quarterback runs do not count. So we're just going to skip right past that one.
Jonathan Taylor, though, 5 carries. I was waiting for it, man. Yeah, 5 carries for only 16 yards. So yeah, he was definitely not getting any running going on the ground there. But definitely a good game passing. Downs, 5
to be
receptions,
fair, he had the ball
yards.
for like 4 minutes. So
But yeah, he had a big game there for Downs, and CeeDee Lamb also for the Cowboys. But man, both guys took care of the ball. I mean, they didn't turn the ball over. Only one sack in this game from Sam Williams. That's kind of unusual. No interceptions. Tackle leader in this game.
That means
Franklin.
the turnover was a fumble, and it was Clint Brown. Clint, left outside linebacker rookie, got the fumble. So Dallas, even as dumb as they weren't, they didn't even throw an interception.
Yeah, and so it was. That's crazy. Yeah, it's everything points towards the Cowboys actually winning this game, but from all the stats, time of possession, but the Colts was able to come out of victorious in this game, 27-23. So have to give the nod, but also chain.
Yeah, he said, I never had the ball to even run it. Maybe if you ran it, you would have had the ball. It's just a thought. It's just something to think about. Cleveland with a 14-9 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just like a good defensive game. 184 yards for the Browns, 264 yards for the Steelers, 84 rushing yards for the Browns, 225 for the Steelers, 13-12 on the first downs for the Pittsburgh Steelers. One turnover from the Browns, 2 from the Steelers. And then looking at the time of possession, 19:32 to 16:28 for the Cleveland Browns. Looking at some of these stats here, both quarterbacks turned the ball over, 3 combined interceptions, no combined touchdowns, 5 combined sacks. So a tough day for both quarterbacks. Brett Brown, 14 for 43. He led the entire game, also with 2 rushing touchdowns on the day. Pittman, 5 for 90, no touchdowns. Bayless, 5 for 66. And then looking at some defensive leaders, Patrick Queen from LSU, 10 tackles on the day. The TJ Watt was leading the game in 3 tackles for loss. And then Highsmith with 1.5 sacks, a bunch of guys with 1 sacks. And then your interception leaders, Eric Garcia, Cleveland, Calvin Graham. That's right. We just talked about him with the Tennessee Titans going over to the Pittsburgh, and then Denzel Ward each getting an interception. But I love a good defensive battle, and we got to see one right there. Let's talk about some games that we're looking to see happen here in the next little bit. Week 4, 5, and 6. Give me a game or two that you're looking forward to in week number 4.
Week number 4, look no further than, I think, the Patriots and the Packers. I think that this one's going to be a good one. We've seen the Packers kind of come out of the gate looking pretty solid on offense and defense. And if the Patriots are actually going to be in for this game, I don't know if he's going to be on vacation, but when he's actually playing, he's putting up a lot of points with Rusty Starr, and he's really efficient on offense and plays solid on defense. Does struggle a little bit on the defensive side, but man, he put up some points, and both these guys can put up points. So I expect some fireworks from this game.
I like Steelers and Titans. I just think that Penguins is starting to build something there now. He's having to move, and so that might disrupt this season, but hopefully this game gets to get in before all of those big life changes begin to happen for him. I think he's going to give Kobe a run for his money. May not win it, still needs a little bit more firepower, but I do think Pittsburgh is starting to build something there. Tennessee's already there. He's got the championship. He did it very quickly. I think you're going to see a quick turnaround from the Pittsburgh Steelers. That should just be a fun game to watch. Any other games here in week number 4?
We've seen the Cowboys kind of slip a little bit, and seen the Eagles play a couple of close games. And I know Dwayne has talked about the Eagles always playing really close with Twinkie there, and so anytime you get a division matchup, it's always usually it ends up being a good game normally, and so it'd be interesting to see how the Eagles actually attack the Cowboys at home here. You know, like I said, he hasn't just walked away with every game so far, you know, and he's played games pretty close, and both guys have played games close. I think this one's going to be a good one to watch as well.
I agree with you. I think the Broncos and Seahawks have an opportunity to be a really good game. Seahawks, you know, had a tough loss early in the season, bounced back. They're proving something. Broncos had a tough loss this past week. I want to say it was the 49ers. He lost a close one too. So sometimes even in those losses, you can start to build some momentum, start to figure out some things about your team. So I really like this game and think it could go a really long way in just being a game of the week possibility. Week number 5, what games are you looking for here?
I think the Cardinals and Jets. I think that's going to be a good matchup. Both these guys have played exceptional well so far. To start off this season, we've seen the Jets so far only fall to my comeback bid for my Bills, and the other 2 games he's played so far, he's put up like 40 something points. So I just think that his offense is clicking right now with McDimes, and then you got the Cardinals. He's also got his import quarterback that he paid 7 years, $200 and whatever billion dollars that he signed him to. But both have been putting up some good points, and I think that this matchup really both teams kind of mirror kind of their styles, the way they play, like to air the ball out and get the passing game going. And I just think it's going to be one that's going to be light up the scoreboard.
I like Chargers and Dolphins. Logan moving over to the San Diego. See, I did it. The LA Chargers and Massimo and his Miami Dolphins. He can put up a ton of points, but Logan kind of flexed on week number 1, New England Patriots. Not week number 1, but his week number 1, this brand new team. Can Logan continue that momentum? We know that he's a great team builder, but taking over a team that isn't built for your style, sometimes they can be some speed bumps there. And Miami has lost their way. I don't know if I say that with confidence or conviction, but feels like maybe have lost his way a little bit after kind of mid-season, losing his quarterback mid-season last year. He got the quarterback back, but he sort of like stumbled through the rest of the season, got into the playoffs, didn't have the deep run. And I feel like even this season, sort of having a hard time finding his footing. This isn't going to be an easy one to find your footing. Give me another game here in week number 5.
Seahawks 49ers. I mean, I know we kind of pick the same one sometimes, but both these guys, every time they play in the regular season, it is one of those. It's either a close game or a lot of fireworks going on, but there's always some kind of like twist going on with these two guys, and every game usually is pretty entertaining, especially in the regular season. Now we talked about the struggles that the Seahawks have had in the playoffs, but man, in the regular season, he is a regular season champion, and he just puts up points, plays good defense, and he's just always in the top 10. It seems like season in and out. And the 49ers, we all know D-Money, we know what he's capable of, but we have seen him look like he's, I want to say struggling, but there is a little bit of I guess just a different D-Money than what we're used to seeing, because he only put up 17 points on the Broncos previous week, and I just think this is going to be a really good game. I think both guys are going to match up really well this season.
I agree with you. This is not the game I was going to talk about, but I felt like you can't ignore this game. Lions Cowboys. Tim's got confidence. Dallas dropped a tough game against the Colts. I never want to play him after dropping a tough game. That's going to be a really, really fun game. I'm expecting Dallas to make a statement. I also can't get out of here without talking about your game. Bills, Titans, week number 5. It's going to be a classic game. We had a classic AFC championship battle between you two. You play each other multiple times. This is going to be a really fun game between two powerhouses. And, well, you've just proven yourself. You're going to make us sweat it out. This game's probably going to get kind of weird early, and then somehow Bills are going to crawl themselves back into it. You're going to get in the fourth quarter, and they're either going to be leading or, taking a chance to take the lead. And you're like, how? How did the Bills fight their way back into this? That's going to be a really great game. Meek in the chat said regular season champion. It's true, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. I wish I was the regular season champion at least once. You are the multiple time regular season champion. You're very good, Meek. just kind of hit speed bumps in the playoffs. That's all. And I do believe you're going to get over those and you're going to win one day. Week number 6, let's take a look at a couple of games. I'm going to go first on this one. There's a ton here that we could look at. I'm trying to pick the ones I think were going to be really, really good. Give me Cowboys and Panthers. Man, I feel like I just talked about the Cowboys, so maybe I shouldn't take that one. You know what? Screw it. I'm taking your game because you're not going to talk about your game. 49ers and Bills. You've said everything you could say about the 49ers, but your Bills are one of the top teams, if not the top team, and champions over there. So maybe a 1B there with the Buffalo Bills. You got them built amazing. You are a powerhouse on defense. You have really good playmakers, and Josh Allen, man, he just knows how to make throws, and you're one of the best play callers out there. You're going to be facing one of the best play callers, a team, though, that I think is lacking a little confidence after talking with him behind the scenes. He feels like that offensive line isn't quite there. There's some other playmakers not quite there for him. Is this a game that gives him his confidence, or do the Buffalo Bills continue to shock the world and show that he is a team that should be reckoned with? Give me your game here in week number 6.
Well, I hope I shock the world, but man, looking at there, I mean, there's a lot of games, man. The Packers Bears could be a good one. I mean, they already played a really good game to start the season off. But I think I have to look at the Texans and Titans. We've seen the Titans put up a lot of points. We've seen the Texans put up a lot of points, and you know, Raj is the type of player. You know, he just seems like he can't get both things put together. Like he'll either have like an exceptionally great defense, but then really can't do anything on offense, or he'll have a lot of offense and can't put it together on defense. But he always has these games where he's like playing really close, and then all of a sudden, you know, something kind of turns and gets away from him. But then he's also proven to have these games, and all of a sudden, you know, he comes out of the thicket here and beats D Money in a game, or he beats Dwayne in a game, or he beats this one in a game, and this could be that type of game here. So, but I just think that both teams, same division again, but I just think it's going to be a really good game. It's probably high scoring because both guys, like I said, they've been putting up like 40-something points so far each game so far this season. So it's going to be probably a good one.
All right, last one for me, Chiefs and Patriots. You know, Patriots going the big run, played the champion to the very bitter end. Technically, probably could have stole a game if it weren't for just not being able to stop throwing to that free safety that just made interception after interception after interception. He's going to be playing a Kansas City Chiefs team that can sort of shock us from time to time. Sometimes he takes a step back, but sometimes he steps up and goes on a little bit of a run, and you can never turn your back on the fact that Patrick Mahomes and those running backs and those playmakers at receiver are still over there in Kansas City. This could be a high-scoring game somewhere in the 42-38 range. Look for the Patriots to kind of make another run here and show something in week number 6. Give me one more for week 6 before we wrap it up.
I'll take a look at the Vikings and the Lions. I know Big Hurt has kind of struggled so far with the Vikings. I just played him the other day. He played really good. It just seemed like things got away from him, and he's still trying to figure out his team. But I think in certain games, big games, he tends to kind of come out of the shell or whatever. He shows up. And I just think like the Vikings and the Lions are going to be playing 2 games in a 3-week span. So again, I think anytime you have like a division rival, sometimes we all know Madden can seem like it can either help you or hurt you. But it just seems like in division games and stuff, it seems like a lot of the games are closer at times, and I just think the Vikings, if he can get his like running game going and get the things figured out with the new team, could give the Lions a run for their money. It could go totally opposite, but I really see this game being like something like a 20-27 type game or whatever. But it should be entertaining nonetheless.
Now it's time for us to give our predictions, and these are the shows that can always take like 18 hours because we want to talk about every team, we want to talk about every matchup and every potential, and well, you guys are worth it, but we'll see if we can't get through these just a hair bit quicker. I want to give it a couple of weeks before we gave our predictions so we could sort of see how these games are going to start to play out. Let's start with the AFC North. We got the Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals. Browns at 3-0, Ravens at 2-0, Steelers at 1-2, and the Bengals, the biggest shocker for me, sitting here at 0-2. Who wins this division?
Right now, I have to go with the Browns. Bruce, playing really, really hot right now. His defense is playing really hot. He's probably like one of the only few defensive fronts that's been getting consistent sacks and pressure in the stat column so far this season. So I just think that's really playing a big part in his game and his team build right now. And I think the Ravens, it's going to be between the Ravens and him. I see the Bengals probably making a push at the end. Steelers, obviously, what Penguins is doing there, but it just ultimately, I think it's just going to be the Browns and the Ravens really battling it out to the end.
A biggest head scratcher here's Little Koch and his Bengals. We know that they've built a powerful offense. He's got playmakers everywhere, and yet that's what's failing him so far. So the all Madden jump hasn't been great for him. I do know Little Koch. He will get it figured out. He will go on his run. I'm pretty sure whenever he made his run to the bowl game, it was on all Madden. So I fully expect him to get this thing turned around. Penguins, I think, has built a great defense, or in the process of building a great defense, but you can see it's actually the defense that's failing him. He's second in points in this division, 71 points. I think he's still another sort of off season for making a real run, but I do think once he gets settled in with life and gets one more off season under his belt, these Steelers are going to be a problem to have to deal with. Ravens and Browns are who it comes down to. I really like the Ravens defense. 38 points, the best in this division, which is pretty good in this division. Sitting at 2-0, it's always a matter of discipline and focus for Nipple. And I don't think any Madden League would ever get 100% of this guy's focus. On the other side of the spectrum is Denbrew. Laser focus, laser intense, laser committed to his team. And man, he has built a really good one. 73 points for him, 50 points allowed. This guy is just playing really good football. And I do like the Cleveland Browns to win this division once again and make a statement and pushing for one of those top 3 playoff seeding spots and trying to make a statement in the AFC playoffs. Let's go to the AFC South. You got the Titans at 2-0, the Colts at 2-1, the Jaguars at 1-1, and the Houston Texans at 0-3. Man, defense is just not his friend. You can see here, he's given up 111 points. He was talking about it in our board chat. I think he's got a top 3 defense in the NBC. Now, it's slightly different there, but 111 points. That's not going to do it anywhere you play football. 76 or 67 points for his offense is pretty good. Jaguars, brand new owner, has to continue to build that team. I think it's going to take a moment for Nicehunger to find his footing over there. You like the offense. Defense is doing really good as well. He's going to have to put all the pieces together, though. Colts and Mr. Bronco Man, Randy's got things figured out. You don't like the close in the points against and points for, but if he can continue to not turn the ball over, start to figure out some things on defense, just be one of those teams as he did in the Dallas game. Just be, opportunity ridden on defense. Just grab a couple of opportunities here and there, make them pay. Still think he's got to get some more playmakers there on offense. It's always going to come down to the quarterback play in Richardson. And what can you say about the Tennessee Titans? The champion for OMFL season 112. He's got great offense. He's got really, really good play calling, probably top 5 play caller we've ever had in the OMFL, and that's saying something. Has a really good, young, athletic defense. He's scoring points. He's keeping you from scoring. He's already sitting here at 2-0. Tennessee Titans clearly win this division. Do you see this breaking up any other way?
I don't. I mean, until somebody unseats the champion, you had to really look at going with them, especially at this point in the season when they're 2-0, undefeated, and doing what they're doing on the scoreboard. Playing a good defense and good offense. So I do think the Colts. I think they're back. I don't know if he's fully back, but he's definitely in the mix here, and he showed it getting the big win against Dwayne. I like what Nysonger's doing with the Jaguars too. I really think that, like you said, he's just kind of. I hated seeing him actually trade away his wide receiver Thomas.
Yeah, me too.
'Cause I think he was a big play guy because he lost him, and then
Young
before
receiver
he took
too.
over that team, yeah, he lost the guy that was the import also for
That's right.
in free agency. I can't think of his name, but he ended up going to the Colts, and I think so that's also been one of the things that's helped the Colts so far offensively going in this season. But yeah, just give me the Titans. I mean, like I said, until they get unseated, you got to go with the Titans. But definitely, Bronco Man is trending upwards with those Colts.
Let's look over the AFC East. Your Buffalo Bills at 3-0. The Jets at 2-1. I've been singing Cincy's praises for quite some time. The Dolphins at 1-2. Massimo struggling out of the gate. And also Mr. Lost Sniper after the great run last year. Nate went and put up a vote. Everybody voted for it, by the way. No one voted against it, so it wasn't a Nate change. But it has not been nice to Lost Sniper. His Patriots struggling out of the game at 1-2. Who do you see winning this division?
Well, I'm going to go with myself. I hate taking myself. I mean, it's just like, it's like the worst thing ever, like building yourself up, and just seems weird. But so far, man, my defense has been really solid. I mean, I've only given up 43 points. I mean, that can always change. My offense has been kind of spotty, to say the least, so I really need to improve my offense. But, man, the Jets are going to be pushing, I think, this season. I think his defense, I think, is going to be still kind of young. But, man, he drafted some really nice-looking players over there for the Jets. And I think they're going to be superstars. So if they don't get him over the hump this season, next season it's going to be watch out for the Jets. I think the Dolphins, again, you saw some of his guys kind of aging, and maybe he didn't get the type of players in the draft that really could have replaced some of the guys that he's kind of losing. And then the Patriots, like you said, just giving up a lot of points. And his defense, I think he's got a really great defense, but sometimes just things don't happen. But I do think the Patriots probably have the best chance to turn things around before the season ends, because I just think he's got the pieces there. But I really think it's going to be between the Jets and myself going down the stretch. But look for the Patriots to maybe kind of make a final push. It could also be the one that plays spoiler to help one of us win the division. So he could be the one that kind of helps play spoiler for the top two guys.
Man, I like all of these teams. I really do. And it hurts my heart to see Massimo and the Lost Sniper struggling right out of the gate. Now it's early. They're 1-2. I mean, let's not act like their season's over.
Right.
It's good to see the Jets turn things around as well. I mean, 120 points for that offense. He's almost doubled all of the points that you guys have scored. 73 for you, 72 for the Dolphins, 74 for the Patriots. All of those teams are offensive-minded teams. He's almost doubled your points. Now, that defense, as you said, is young, giving up 92 points. He's going to have to figure that out. Patriots, that's in his problem. 110 points allowed already this season. I think you could pull a straw in a hat and decide which team is going to win this season every single year with all the teams improving. But we're talking about season 113, and I got to go with you and your Buffalo Bills. You got Allen, you got the playmakers at receiver. How you do it with those playmakers is pretty astonishing for me. I've seen other guys, they need speedsters, they need the big-time playmaker, they need the high overall, and you just seem to do it with most receivers that a lot of us couldn't do that with. But that defense, you're a great defensive play caller. You make the right adjustments at the right time. You're there to make the right plays. Only 43 points given up this season. That's going to be my winner for this division. That's going to be a really fun division to see what happens in weeks 8, 10, 12, 14, as maybe the Dolphins and Patriots start to figure it out. Do they turn things around, or do you and the Jets continue to run away? It's going to be interesting to watch. AFC West, you got Logan and his brand new Chargers at 2-1. Massimo, listen to me. Got Massimo on the brain. We got Luca and the Chiefs at 1-1. Jay Glaze and the Broncos at 1-2. And I don't know why on my stream the other day I kept calling the Raiders Jay Glaze. Because they're best friends in my head. It's just like I kept doing it in my head over and over. And now I don't know why, but I'm drawing a blank. What's the Raiders' actual name? Jeez.
Jay Bowles.
Jay Bowles. See? Jay Glaze, Jay Bowles. I'm all over the place. Listen, it's snowing in New Orleans, so cut me some slack here. Raiders, Broncos, what's going on? I guess you could lump all of these teams in there. This is going to be Chargers all the way with Logan moving over there. He's coming over with a lot of confidence. He's coming over after building a powerhouse team in Las Vegas. He automatically is going to have some playmakers. Pepper was an engaged enough owner that he knew how to build a good team. I mean, he's a long-time veteran in the OMFL. This guy knows how to build a good team, just struggle with the actual play. Logan's got the play down, and now he's not starting with an empty cupboard like he was doing with the LA Rams. All about the Chargers. I love all the other teams here, but this division often has become lately who wants it last. They're just hot potatoing it around. I want to see out of the Chiefs, Broncos, and Raiders, who steps up and makes the Chargers work for it. Raiders showed me something early in this season. We played week number 1, great defense. They now have dropped 2 in a row. The Broncos have dropped a couple of close games, especially against the 49ers. Chiefs have yet to play this week, but also not kind of blowing us out of the water here early in season 113. How do you see this one playing out in the AFC West?
Yeah, Logan goes from probably the toughest division top to bottom to probably and no slack to these guys, but probably one of the weakest divisions top to bottom. And because like you just said, we see these guys like who wants to take it, and so he kind of seen the opportunity. I think he's like, I'm jumping ship. The Chargers defense is built really good. The offense is built really good. It's a plug and play for this man. I mean, he comes in first game, if he played the CPU or if he played loss, but I mean, only giving up 6 points or whatever it was, I think.
Yeah.
Even versus the all Madden CPU, only giving up 6 points, that's pretty amazing. So I just think it's his division, and I do think the Chiefs, they've got a solid team. He's kept that nucleus, that team together so far this Madden. We've seen him struggle with that in previous Maddens. So I have to give kudos to Shocks for that. Broncos, they can make a run. Raiders can make a run. We've all seen them kind of get hot. But I think ultimately what it comes down to is the defensive side. And I think you got to go with the top dog right now in this division is the Chargers. I just think it fits his style. And I think we're just going to see Logan really solidify himself as the top dog here in the West.
It goes back for me, who's going to step up and make him earn it? Because I think all of these teams have the potential. We've seen them do it, but one of them actually has to step up and do it. And I'm going to have my eyes on it. I want to see who in this division can step up and make that happen. Now, let's go over to the NFC now. Start with the NFC North. Talk about divisions nobody wants to win. That is no more. The Packers, the Lions, Bears are trying to turn around. Big Hurt's over there now. It's going to be a fun division to see how this one plays out. Now, Big Hurt is a veteran to this division. He used to be Chicago for a bit, really built a great team, have had them in the playoffs. He moves teams around a couple times, now works his way back with the Minnesota Vikings. He's sitting at 0-3, probably another season away before he can compete for the division title. Colin and his Bears, this one's shocking to me, sitting at 0-2. I thought this could be the year that he starts to put all the pieces together. But talking with him, they just haven't come together the way he wants or likes. I'm looking for maybe later this season, he might just start to turn the corner and make a run. Lions and Packers, though, right out of the gate, they are playing really, really good football. Packers, 100 points for them, 84 points against them. The Lions, 80 points for him, 40 points against him. One offense, one defense, even though the Lions offense is nothing to sort of stub your nose at. These two teams are playing really good football. I think they're going to come down to the very last couple of weeks, but we've seen this from Priest before. I will say, to his credit, he is staying balanced and committed to the run. He is keeping from turning turnovers and making a bunch of boneheaded plays while still kind of pushing you and making you defend some deep balls. He will blitz you, but he also will play back a little bit, play a lot of man defense. I really like what Priest do, but we've seen him fade. He's got to keep from fading late in this season. Tim, on the other hand, he will attack you. He will kill you at zone. He will blitz you to make you want to pull your eyeballs out. He's going to hit Williams deep. He's going to push you down the field. He's going to move players around. He's going to outside run you 100 times. Like, he is just going to bombard you on every aspect of the game. And you're going to be like, why can't I stop him? I know it's coming. He knows what he's doing, and I still can't stop him because he's got a great team. He's built a hell of a team. They are track stars, and he's going to be a really tough team to beat. Give me the Lions to win this division, but the Packers could win it if he continues to stay to the formula that has gotten him here. But as we've said before, I think sometimes Priest just kind of gets bored with that formula, and he sort of wants to just start throwing the ball down the field, kind of going back to the gunslinger mentality. Let's see if he can stay committed. How do you see the NFC North coming through the rest of season 113?
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it. I mean, completely. The Vikings, I think he's still struggling. Only scored 33 points. Just, I think the offensive line is really rough right now too. I think the defensive line is young and got some. He's got some young guys that are not really there, but also got some aging guys too. So it's just. I think it's rebuild for the Vikings. The Bears, I just almost expect at any moment, like, there's going to be a snap of the fingers and he's just going to turn it on and rack off 10 straight wins. But he's kind of struggled, seemed like, with this Madden so far. And so he's still maybe like another season away before really figuring things out. Lions, Packers. I mean, it's between these two guys. It's definitely going to be who the Bears and the Vikings, I think, can upset throughout the season to kind of help throw a monkey wrench in whoever's going to not win this division. But I think the head-to-head games against these two guys are going to be very important. And if it comes down to a split, which it very likely could, I think it's just going to go down the wire. Whoever is a coin flip, really, truly, honestly. The one thing I do like about the Lions, though, their defense. They've only allowed 40 points so far this season. That's extremely important, I think, in my eyes. And he's not far behind with the top offense in this division and stuff. But, man, if Priest, like I said, if he can continue not to be bored, just continue to do what he's doing, he might shock us all this season. And if he does, man, I'm gonna be the first one to be in this corner clapping because Priest, you did it, and I'm not even sure if he's even thrown like 2 interceptions yet so far this season. So,
yep, he's playing really good football. Night Sucker in the chat says tough 11-point loss to the Titans. Hey man, you hung in there. You got to start to gain some confidence even in those losses. Let's look at the NFC South, my division, your old stomping grounds. Panthers at 1-1, Falcons at 1-2, Saints at 0-3, and I will add a combined 12 points total for an 80 overall team. That's 82 on offense and 83 on defense, or something terrible. Like, I am the worst team in the league by far, and I can't beg for a win. Oh, the Broncos. My gosh, what is wrong with my mouth and brain not wanting to function together here tonight? Mr. Kevin and his buddy Buccaneers 0-2. What do you see is happening here in your old division?
Well, I mean, I hate to like put this on you guys, but this division's kind of like turned into that division, like who wants it? I'm impressed with your team, and I'm not just throwing this out here because we're on the show together. But you've only given up 54 points with the overall ranked defense that you have. I think is incredible. Your offense, you're struggling. There's a lot of guys I think right now kind of struggling with the offense as well. But man, kudos to you for that. But I'm a defensive guy. I really try to play defensive minded. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But I think looking at how the season's kind of unfolding so far, all you guys right now are on a losing streak, and it's just going to come down to who can get hot to end the season. And you have to go with the Panthers as being that guy from previous seasons. He always seems to get hot as the season progresses. I don't know if he just figures out the feel of that season, or finally figures out how his team is built and what he can do, what he can't do. But right now, you have to go with the Panthers. I think the Falcons, again, he's got his favorite team. In fact, three of you guys over here have your favorite team in this division. So that's kind of cool. But again, I just think the Panthers are going to be the one that comes out on top in this division. He'll get hot as the season progresses.
I'm 45. My hot days are way behind me. Being hot now means my thyroids are off, or my wife's thyroids are off, and I'm getting hot. I don't know what to say about this division at all. Carolina Panthers, I think, will win it just by default. Kevin is in his own head. I think, talking to him, I hope I'm wrong. It just feels like Kevin's going to retire soon and not play this anymore, and that's going to suck, and I hope it doesn't happen. But I thought that All Madden would be a good push for him. I think he's still trying to figure out some things. And if you're trying to play like this, Madden 25, the way you played Madden 24, you're doing yourself no favors. You got to adjust to the new game. And I just think Fleury will get things figured out. He will push Mr. Birdman and the Carolina Panthers for this division, but does he have the quarterback? Is that quarterback going to play the way he needs him to play to be able to make a run? I think he's probably one full off season from being able to make that happen. Let's move over to the NFC East. He got Bill and his Giants at 2-1. Dwayne and the Cowboys at 2-1. Take a picture, folks. For the first time in a long time, the Cowboys are not number one in this division. Mr. Twinkie and his Eagles at 0-3, and Shiloh and the Commanders at 0-2. Man, I want everything in me to see the Eagles and the Commanders start to turn things around, make this a more competitive division. Shiloh's traveling the world, changing the world, being a teacher. I think it's just an honor to have him here. I wish I could get to know the guy, but he is so busy. He's on a different time frame. I just never get to talk to him. He seems like an amazing human being, but I think he's just always going to be what he is just because of this isn't important. Maybe I don't know the right way to say it. Like, he's got more important things in life, and this is sort of just something for him to unplug and do. So I don't know if we'll ever see the Commanders make a real run. Twinkie is just frustrated. He's like me. We're in the same boat. He's frustrated for a long time. He's tried a lot of different things. I think, like me, though, he needs to make the decision to punt a bunch of players and rebuild this team in his own image and his own likeness. But that didn't happen right now. So I don't think he's quite going to be there. It's Cowboys and Giants. That's what it's going to come down to. Bill and his Giants have been really frustrated about the switch. And then I look at the stats. He's 2-1 on a 2-game winning streak. Like, he was ready to murder maybe me after week 1. He's scored 86 points, tied number 1 in this division, and only allowed 65, which is 3 more than the best team in this division, the Commanders, who I think haven't played like 2 of their games or something like that. So the Giants are right there. I do think it's going to be the Cowboys division. There's just the longevity, the ability to just stay standard and just kind of rinse and repeat, and it's just going to end up being the Cowboys. But the Giants, they've clearly figured it out. Look for him to make a run. I'm pulling for Bill to win the division just because, man, you talk about light a fire under D Wayne. That would make this rivalry really, really, really fun. How do you see the NFC East, the Beast, working out this year?
Yeah, this is definitely a two-horse race here with the Giants, Cowboys. I want to point out, too, I think the Giants, if you look at his roster, I think he's almost like mirroring what Dwayne has built. Like, he's got really good cornerbacks, he's got good linebackers, defensive front is really solid, and I think he's actually probably did better building his defensive line at this point across the board than the Cowboys have, and I think that's the reason why we've seen him take the NFC crown this last season. Let me be the guy that throws this to the wind and say the Giants are going to win this. I think just looking at how, again, what we was talking about, how he's built his defense, I think he's got the better defense right now in this division. He's also playing really good on offense. I know he lost week 1 to Priest. He gave up 45 points to Priest, I think. So
a 3-0 Priest team.
Yeah. And so if you factor that in, though, 45 points, and he's...
Is that true? He gave up 45 in week 1?
I want to say it's true.
Holy cow. He's given up, 20 points the rest of the time?
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So either he figured something out since week 1 and something on defense is working for him. So give me the Giants, though. I really think he's going to be the one that comes out of this division.
All right, last one, NFC West. A brand new team here in the LA Rams, 2-0, the division leader. I like what I'm seeing, though. 2-0 Rams, 2-1 49ers, 2-1 Cardinals, 2-1 Seahawks. Finally, we've talked a lot about how the Rams and Cardinals were like right there, and they were great teams. They're just in a great division. But now, early in the season, the records are showing that these really are good teams. But we get a brand new owner here with Crazy taking over the Rams. I was surprised to not see any takers for the Rams. I thought for sure somebody would look at that roster and that cap situation and be like, yo, maybe I'm interested. I know Meek's over there and Joker's over there and D-Money's over there, but that's a really good team. I might go have some fun. 49ers, they felt the least confident that I think I've ever seen him, but I do think he's going to continue to win. Joker, a lot of confidence. He's playing ball. He's scoring points. He's making big plays. And then, Mr. in the chat, 2-time, 3-time regular season MVP and champion in the Meek and the Seahawks, man. This is just a fun division. Who do you see winning this one in season 113?
Yeah, I haven't seen how Crazy B-Man, I think I said that right.
You did.
I haven't seen him play in a long time. He's inheriting a really real good team. And I think the times that he's come in the past, he didn't have such a good team to start off with. It was usually the Rams, but it's usually like after they've been disintegrated and left for dead, and then you try to come in and try to build something up within 2 or 3 seasons, and it just takes a while. But yeah, they're ready to roll. They got cap space, man. They got players everywhere. Like you said, the 49ers are not looking as dominant as we've seen in the past. So I really think if Crazy comes in and really kind of picks up where Logan left off, man, this could be one of the more exciting divisions to watch going down the stretch. I mean, I think even if he comes in and he's not real strong with that team, even just the fact that you got the 49ers, Cardinals, and the Seahawks was going to make it one of the more intriguing. They're all kind of right neck and neck. They're all pretty much like scoring the same points. I know a couple guys have got more games, but and they're all playing pretty solid defense as far as points allowed per game. Looking at the stats, so I mean, you gotta say man, this could be a coin toss up here. Give me the Cardinals. I think they're gonna kind of maybe put things together and shock everybody. They're on a 2-game win streak right now. And so he's putting up really good points on offense. He's played really good on offense and taking care of the ball so far with this this change in settings, and also point out too that Joker plays a lot more on all Madden, so he may be more accustomed to these settings going forward for at least this season. So I think this is his shot.
What's up, Kobe? If Logan sticks with the Rams, I'm probably taking the Rams to win this division. The confidence level makes me hesitate on the 49ers. The Cardinals, I just have not seen consistently beat the 49ers and the Seahawks long time. And so it hesitates picking them. I got to go Seahawks and Meek. I just think he's beat the 49ers. He's sort of owned Joker and the Cardinals. I think he's going to win this division. Crazy's the wild card. I have no clue what to expect from Crazy. If Logan stays there, sorry, Meek. Sorry, everybody else in this division. I'm picking him, but he's not there. He's left. Have no clue what to expect from Crazy. And it would be astronomical for Crazy to step into a team not built for him in arguably the toughest division to ever exist in the OMFL and win it. Like, that sounds crazy talk. Give me Seahawks and the Meek to win this one. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up with this. Just give me your prediction for OMFL Bowl 113. Who's in it and who wins it?
Man, it's so hard when you start thinking about, like, at this point in time, who's going to win it and who's going to get there. I mean, you have to look at, like, kind of like where we've been in the past, and you know, I could throw some shakeup in there and say, well, it's going to be this team, that team, but I really feel like the Titans are going to be back. And then the NFC, I think it may come down to, since Logan now has gone out of the NFC, I think it's going to come down to really, like, maybe possibly Dwayne, and looking at Meek and Bill, I think, from the NFC side. So it would not shock me at all to see Bill make a return, and we might even have a replay of this last OMFL Bowl game. So give me that. Give me the rematch between the Titans and the Giants. I'm sorry.
You put out some interesting characters over there. My wild card pick would be like Packers Chargers. That would just be crazy, like how this happened. In my head, though, is saying, give me the Cleveland Browns. I think Denver's quietly building a powerhouse of a team that he can make a run with. Of course, Tennessee, they're, to me, a shoe-in. Let's see. Like, he traded kind of salary and sort of trying to get younger and cheaper. And let's see if that doesn't sort of come back when you get in those really tight games. And I just can't shake the fact that a guy single-handedly got him all the way to the bowl game and even made plays against you in the bowl game and got traded away. Like, just tend to believe that sometimes has a way of coming back to get you when you need it the most. I like Denver. I like the Cleveland Browns. On the NFC, it feels more open than it ever has. I could make the case for the Cowboys, right? I can make the case for the 49ers. I can make the case for Bird and his Panthers to figure things out and go on a run. I could make a case for Tim and the Lions or Priest and the Packers, but I'm just going to go ahead and give Meek, some credit. I think Meek goes on a run here, gets to his first OMFL Bowl for finally getting over the hump in the playoffs. I think that bulletin board material's printed really large and framed and on the wall. The players see it every day. They slap it as they walk into the locker room. And I think they're going to have to grab the cojones and pull them down in the playoffs. Give me Meek. Give me Denver. Cleveland versus the Seattle Seahawks. That'll be a classic game for 113. And I think Denver wins his second OMFL Bowl here for season 113. Who wins yours? I don't think you gave me a winner.
No, I didn't. And give me the champs to be back-to-back champs.
Give me a crazy winner. I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers.
Crazy winner. Jets. Jets absolutely shocked.
Yep.
Shocked the entire league, and he's the top offense right now. So,
yep.
Man, if he gets any semblance of his defense figured out, man, he's gonna be something else to stop.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Crazy pick. is the Green Bay Packers. I don't think it'll happen, but you know what? Let's throw it out there. All right, let's open up the OMFL mailbag really quick. And we're already an hour deep on this show, over an hour deep on this show. Even though we're having a snowstorm, I still got to get up and go to work in the morning. So let's see if we can't get through a couple of these. What has been your favorite and least favorite thing about the All Madden Switch? That's a good question. Favorite thing's been DB reactions. Like, it's good to see DBs actually react to the ball.
I think that's probably one of the better ones. So far for me personally, like my team, as far as like pass rush and stuff, I haven't seen an uptick, and actually I've seen a decrease. I have no sacks on the season whatsoever. So I don't know if it's just guys just getting rid of the ball like really quick against me, but last year I was like one of the top 5 in sacks, and I haven't gotten one yet. So I'm getting thirsty for a sack.
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite thing is the pass rush feels non-existent. And I can't be a gauge for that because my offensive line's absolutely terrible and poo-poo. And so I'm giving up sacks upon sacks upon sacks. But we may make some slight adjustments to those. And also sort of keeping an eye on pass coverage and run blocking. Like, I don't love the run blocking so far. That's the thing about Madden, though. Like, the reason I'm scared to sort of tweak it and make it a little bit easier is because there are some plays where he just blocks it up across the board perfectly and you're getting gashed. And so if we make it better, those sort of perfectly blocked up gash plays like we've seen in All Pro may happen way more. And I don't know, I kind of like that majority of our games are more defensive games. And yeah, again, we're just letting it play out for a season. We've got some really impatient people, and I get it. You liked All Pro. We've murdered that discussion to the 10th degree. I'm not having it again. It is what it is. That's always going to be split 50-50. It's probably not 50-50. It's probably split 30-30 because there's another 30 that just don't care. And then there's 10 that aren't engaged to care. So I think it's always going to be split. There's a long period of time where we were an all-pro league. There was a long period of time we were an all-Madden committee. We kind of go back and forth, guys. We always, the last 4 or 5 cycles, have given both a try. This is our try. We're trying it early this cycle instead of the last season. If it doesn't work, if we get to the end of the season and overall the board's like, hey, we liked how it played on All Pro better, we will go back. There are trade-offs. Neither one play perfect. I wish we could take elements from both and combine them, but we cannot. So I'm moving on. Any other things about your favorite or least favorite thing?
I mean, just I think the least favorite thing is just these I guess the division that it causes. I mean, it, like you talked about and stuff. I mean, it's
good
just
point
like
by you.
It seems like it brings the worst out of everyone, and I even try to catch myself, like, you know, because I'll be like, you know, underneath my breath, like, man, this is just, I hate all Madden, you know, but that's just kind of just the way I've been, I guess, because I've played so much on All Pro, but I'm also like, you know, I can't be that way. I've got to be more open-minded. And I think really, truly, honestly, like the thing you have to watch with All Madden compared to All Pro is, like, I think the sliders, and we don't touch the sliders that much, so that's a good thing. But I think they're, like, to the 10th, like, so much more, like, it's just one little slide too far one way, it can go like crazy. And like you're talking about the run blocking and different stuff, it can make those certain plays that are almost unstoppable be unstoppable, you know, going one way or another. So again, like I said, just the division it brings and stuff is the worst, I think, in it all.
That is such a good point by you. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You want to say something that immediately gets under my skin? Tell me, well, me and name any other 3 people in the league think that such and such league plays better. Like those, like, behind the back side remarks that, like, group up that people have, like, oh, it just gets under my skin. And yeah, it's like, guys, I don't code the game. I don't work for EA. I didn't make it. I'm making the best with what I got. And some of you are going to like it. Some of you are going to hate it. Some of you are going to be mixed. Some of you are going to be in between. We're trying our very best here. And I hate that you like another league and feel like it plays better. But I have proven it too many times. I don't know why I'm getting off on a rant on this, but you bring up such a good point about the division, and it does. It drives me nuts. Like, that's probably the thing I've hated the most. But we have literally matched settings of other leagues, and they play completely different. I can't explain it. I can't tell you why. I'm just telling you, it is more than sliders. It is XP. It is how teams build their teams. It is how players progress. It's how stats go that lead to progression. Like it's momentum. It's morale. Like there's so many things that go into it. And I've gotten a lot of remarks about how the NBC plays way better and we enjoy it way more. And then I go like, this is not a shot at the NBC, but like it's 80% CPU games. Like you can't compare the two, fellas. It's not, we're comparing apples to pineapples. It's not the same over here. Maybe that's a stupid thing, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like we're comparing fruit to cars. It's not the same thing. And anyway, we're doing our very best here. And I made this comment to Maniac, and I think I've made it on the show before, and then I'm moving on because I've spent way too much time on this already. But Maniac shared a guy that I started following because I was interested. I'm always interested to learn who's out there doing stuff. I'm always interested in guys who test things. And there's this guy out there that like, he's probably trying to make a name for himself, but he is, best Madden settings ever. And he literally releases a video every 3 to 4 days that are brand new and updated. I refuse to do that. I've done it with Maniac for 10 years. I've done it with Joker. I'm telling you, not Joker, Roger. I've spent many of a 1, 2, 3 a.m. nights with me and Roger online playing slide adjustment, go play some more, slide adjustment, place, and just like, I'm not doing it. I'm not chasing our tail. The game is the game. We're going to stay right close to 50. I'll give you 5 one way or the other, and we're going to leave it alone. And it is the best that we can. So anyway, I just, I agree with Maniac 1,010%. I hate the division. I hate when the chat gets snippy. I think all of us sort of can say things. For 100%, I know Maniac and I have done it to each other where we say things and it reads like you're a jerk. Like you sound like an a-hole right now. Like you're such an expert. You got it all figured. We all do it to each other. I hate when I read that stuff. And it's like, there is no perfect solution. If there was, we would have found it because I'm just telling you, there are a lot of great humans out there and there are a lot of commissioners that do way more work than I do. There's nobody that has a community with a group of people that is committed as this group of people to making Madden work. There's a better way doing it. We would have found it by now.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of minds here that have either ran leagues or there's guys that's always willing to do stuff, but again, and I have been victim of this and done this before in the past. And the best thing is, if you're feeling something, don't post it in the chat. Just and don't go ranting in Nate's PMs, either DMs or whatever. Think about it. Take a few weeks, and if you've got a suggestion, like put it down to where it's like not like condescending, but say, hey, I've done some of this. I've played in other leagues. This kind of works a little bit different. If you get an opportunity, hey, check this out. It might help. It may not. But I'm passing this along, and I know you're trying your best. Just the way we're tactful on things can make the huge difference. And believe me, I'm 45 and learning still as I go. That sometimes even with the best intentions, I may not, when I'm typing something, I may not be even thinking or feeling that way. But then after somebody reads it and they're thinking, oh, like he's a freaking jerk, and then after I go back and they said something like, oh yeah, that does kind of sound jerkish, so just be thoughtful of things like that, because we've had our discussions before, Nate and I, where texting can get you off into left field when that's not what you intended. And the best thing is, if you got something really coming up, say, hey, let's just chat. Let's have a conversation. I've got some ideas. If you're able to have a conversation about it, I have some ideas, or I would like to pass some thoughts along to you. And just look at it that way, and let it go. I mean, if we post in the chat, things, it goes to left field way too quickly.
Most impressive or disappointing rookies. I don't have Neon Sports pulled up where I can do that really, really fast. And I also think it's early. I think it's really, really early. No quarterbacks are impressing me. A couple of running backs, though, you can see here. Brett Brown for the Cleveland Browns, already 200. Oh, gosh. I just realized Brett Brown for the Cleveland Browns. Good luck with that one. 51 for 279. I remember Brett from the draft from Alabama. He's already got 4 touchdowns on the season. Jerome Mayberry for the Tennessee Titans. That's going to make him dangerous. 36 for 264. We talked about the one missing piece for the Tennessee Titans was maybe running back. He goes out and he's got a number 4 running back in the league already. Nothing at receiver except for one. There was one rookie receiver that really caught my eye. Where'd he go? We're right here. Devin McCullough. I don't know. He's got 13 for 258 and 2 touchdowns for Bronco Man and the Colts. Defensively, there was a couple of interception leaders. One that really hurt my soul. Britton Staley for the Jets has already got 3 interceptions. And then this one really hurt my soul. Devon Avant, the guy that went after my cornerback, who has dropped 2 pick sixes, has no interceptions, has gotten burnt repeatedly. Cannot wait to send him to the 49ers after this season. He's got 2 interceptions already this season. Sack leaders, there was nobody that really jumped out. I think there's one guy for the Titans, maybe. I could be wrong. Nick Simmons for the middle linebacker for the Vikings. He's not a leading or top leader in tackles for losses, but also sacks. Anybody else? Greg Best. That's who it was for the Tennessee Titans. Already 2 sacks on the season. I think it's really, really early. It's probably more of a week 8, 9, 10 question, but any rookies impressing you or depressing you?
Well, I didn't get to make the draft, so a lot of them don't depress me. I mean, there was a couple guys that I had high on my board where I kind of thought they might fall, but again, nobody ever really falls in this league because everybody scopes out all those gems way beforehand. But the one guy that is made me take notice is the Staley kid because one, I've already played him. And he's good. He is really good. I mean, he's really good in pass defense for his man defense. He's good in zone. He makes plays, man. He is making plays. And that would be the one. I really didn't dig into this really. And like you said, it's kind of like one of those things. Like you look further down, and then the other one that I've played would have to be Nick Sims for the middle linebacker for the Vikings. He had 13 or 14 tackles against me. He uses him quite a bit, but that dude was in the backfield and all over the place. So we don't see too many stats from rookie quarterbacks. So I think this might be a year that rookie of the year for the offensive side and defensive side is not going to be somebody from like the big type of players that we're looking at. The cornerback. The linebacker, I think, are going to be some that we're going to be talking about for a while now. But I think the one big spot, though, that is said, the quarterback, I don't think there's going to be anybody that's going to be really coming from that position. I think that position was pretty weak. But overall, I mean, from week 4, I don't know if there's anybody really disappointing yet. And so, but I think that's going to be an interesting subject to talk about, like week 8, 10, going into late in the season, because there is some guys that's got some potential.
Whether good or bad, what team records surprised you so far this season? Any of them sticking out to you?
Straight off the bat, Chicago. I wasn't expecting him to be 0-2 again. I really kind of keep hanging on. I feel like he's going to break out, and then we just kind of see him still struggling.
Yeah.
And
Patriots at 1-2.
Yeah. It just I don't know. It's just I think again, guys, I've said this before. I think some Maddens cater to certain play styles more than others, and so the transition for certain guys is a lot less. Now, there's some guys like Dwayne, like no matter what type of Madden game it is, he adjusts really quick, and he's always like the top dog. But then you see others that kind of struggle with it, and they'll have an off Madden, and then they'll come back the next Madden, and all of a sudden, like, oh, where was he at all of last Madden? But I just think that there's some Maddens that some guys just it doesn't fit their style, and they're kind of stuck in a rut, and they don't really explore to change things, and sometimes that can just be the case. And I've been in that situation before. I think like 2 Maddens ago, like I couldn't buy a win, like I couldn't get nothing going whatsoever. But just the last couple Maddens have kind of catered to my style a little bit, I think. Yeah, I just think, Bears, shocking to me that, again, he's kind of struggled. And then also just another one from my division, the Dolphins so far 1-2. Yep. I just would not expect that. I would expect him to be like, 2-1, possibly 3-0.
I agree. On the good side, Cardinals at 2-1, and they're off to a really hot start. I think it's hard to say, Chargers, it's really early. Jets, who I've been calling to get things turned around. Ravens at 2-0, but we've seen that 100 times from him. I think the other teams that surprised me would be, Patriots at 1-2, Raiders at 1-2, Bengals, Buccaneers at 0-2. Those are a couple really surprising teams. He also said with Logan switching to the Chargers, how does that impact the AFC West? We talked about that a little bit already. We both, I think, picked the Chargers to win this division. Of course, we got Luka and the Chiefs over there. We got Jay Glaze and the Broncos, Jay Bowles and the Raiders. Broncos, Raiders both struggling out of the gate here after being impressive earlier this season. Chiefs, it's just it's hard to wrap my head around what Luka's doing. Lots of points for, but lots of points against, 94-95. I think, Logan, impressive what he did week 1 with this team. If he can keep that up in any type of semblance, he's going to win this one running away. Do you see any other different storyline happening here?
No, I'll just kind of look at this view. Like each team is kind of similar and stuff, but I mean it's almost like a race car. You put a no name in with a certain race car. They're never gonna do a whole lot, but then you put like Richard Petty, which I'm pulling old guys because I don't really watch NASCAR, but Richard Petty was like one of the best, and you put him in a vehicle like that, and he's gonna win championships in NASCAR. And it's kind of the Chargers are that built hot rod ready to go, and Logan is that guy that knows how to really get the most out of that team, and I just think he's just gonna really. Truly, honestly, I think he's going to probably run away with that division.
My goodness. Lots of questions have come rolling in here. Golly. All right, let's see if we can't get through these. We're going to be here all night. I got to get to bed, y'all. There's a lot of questions. I like it. Kobe says, what do you think is something you do better than anyone else? Content, game plan, being funny, anything at all? Kobe, I am the most average human being you've ever met in your life. I don't feel like I do anything better than anyone else outside of I'm just pretty stubborn and committed, and I do it just to try to get better. So,
when it comes to content.
Hey, it's Mr. Trey. Oh my gosh, Big Hurt and Trey are both in here. What's up, fellas? Good to see you.
Lurking.
Maniac, what about you?
I probably would have to go with right now just being funny. I think I'm a funny guy. I mean, I do voices. I can sound like Mickey Mouse sometimes.
I do voices is not a phrase I thought I'd hear tonight. I do voices.
What the dog doing?
Dog. Oh boy!
He was making some weird noises during his stream the other day. My wife's like, "What is that?" I was like, "Don't worry about it." These other questions made me think that Kobe maybe is eating these THC gummies tonight. I love you, Kobe, but I don't understand these at all. I'm going to try to get somebody to help me with these. I'm reading them verbatim here. Which player on each conference's predicted number one seed is the most important? Holy cow, I think I just had a brain aneurysm. I'm guessing he's saying what teams do we think wins the number one seed? And
I think I'm understanding what Kobe's saying here.
Okay, explain it to me, Trey.
He's asking you guys, of the two conferences,
Right.
you guys' projected number ones for each, who do you feel is their best player?
I would have never got there, bro. I wouldn't have got there if somebody held my hand and bought me a train ticket to get me there. I would have needed the Hogwarts train to get there. There's no freaking way I'd have understood that at all. I would have needed some THC gummies. Holy cow. I don't know. My number one seed is going to be Kobe and the Titans, and then Meek and I don't even know. Meek and the Seahawks, and who are their best players? I have zero clue. I can't even tell you. I don't know.
I'm going to interpret it different. So I'm just going to say what I'm interpreting. So I think he's maybe saying like, who needs the number one seed from each, and who?
That's what I thought maybe too. But you're right. But the player thing and the anyway.
So I think what team feels like number one seed is most important to them. I kind of feel like this is maybe like a question kind of geared towards, since the Buffalo Bills, when I had stole the number one seed from him last season.
People do not like going and playing your Buffalo Bills. They want me to change rules because of that.
Yeah, Denbrew hates it.
Priest said in chat, next question. Wait till we get to the next question, Priest. I'm going to need the Kobe whisperer to come explain this next one to me too. I would take Buffalo and Meek. I think those two need it the most.
Yep, I would agree.
Okay, here we go. Whew. Jesus, take the wheel. Alternatively, oh God, help me here, Trey. Alternatively, is the best player on a team who finishes at the bottom of the league just as capable as those guys previously talked about? Holy shit. Trey, what do you think he's trying to ask me there?
I got nothing.
Oh my Lord. Kobe's in chat. Kobe, go take a nap, brother. I think you might have a concussion.
I think he wrote this after a 24-hour shift or something.
Yeah, he must have been working late on this one. Like, Kobe is one of the most articulate, well-spoken, well thought out, analytical, but yeah, I don't know what he's trying to tell me here. Okay, so it sounds like Trey was right. He's asking about player. I don't know. I don't know teams that well. I just don't. I would assume it'd be the Titans. It would be a defensive player. If it was the Seahawks, it'd be that quarterback. He's got White, pretty good. Best player on a team who finishes at the bottom of the league. I guess he's asking like best coach, Kobe? Are you asking like the best coach at the bottom of the league? I guess he'll let us know in the chat. Best coach at the bottom of the league who's just as capable. Well, if they were just as capable, they wouldn't be at the bottom of the league. Here's saying, he said, but essentially, can a good player on a bad team also be the best player on a good team? What the fuck? He's gonna make me cuss. So
I guess maybe he was looking at it as like, say, for instance, if you took over, say, a Buffalo or a Dallas Cowboys.
No, maybe. Yeah, you could be right. But I think he's asking like, Kobe, when you say player, are you talking about coach, or are you talking about like an individual player, like a really good team? Say, I don't know, say Hal on the Saints, a bad team. Would he be the best player on a good team? that I don't know what you were smoking to get to that, but if that's what you're asking, yeah. I mean, if a good player is going to be a good player. Logan said, "Did you have a stroke?" Somebody do a wellness check for our guy Kobe. Kobe, let's just look. I gave you the points. Let's just try again next week. Okay, we'll just try again next week. But yes, a good player on a bad team will still be a good player on a good team. I think it depends on the coach and the play style, but. Yeah, I think if any of you had Hal, you'd be putting up 2,000 yards a season with 25 touchdowns. If I think any of you, if you had a Mayweather, you'd be putting up 1,700 yards and 20 touchdowns. But we're just going to act like we didn't read any of these and you got the points anyway. Logan says, what's the one trade by position? By position. We're getting, I don't know, you guys give me, I need a coffee. What is one trade by position that you will make based on your early assessment of your team? I'm just going to start reading these in my own language. Basically, he's asking me, after playing a little bit of this season, what's one trade you'd make? Name it by position. That's really important for Logan tonight to make a playoff push. Logan, it would take me to have an entire team traded to me. So that's the one trade. I am the worst player in this league for the last 2 cycles. So I don't know what to say. Maniac, you're the only guy that even knows what the playoffs smell like. So I'll let you answer this one.
I don't know. I guess if I had to grab one guy right now that I need, probably another better offensive lineman somewhere to fit on the offensive line, or maybe another top wide receiver or something like that. That would probably what I look at.
And then there's always the one and only Nipples. If Mark Andrews was standing in front of you, would you use your left or right hand? Will God forgive Mark Andrews? Yes, he will forgive him. He forgives all of us, but I will not forgive you for this question. You do not get points. All right, Big Hurt. He's got 3 of them. Who is the... I'm going to be up all night. At 45, I can't be drinking water this late. But my God, y'all have pulled it out of me. I've had to drink water. I'm going to be up all night pissing. Big Hurt says, who is... Why do I need to read this 8 times to get through it? Who is the OMFL's Chiefs in real life? Just that statement alone hurt. I understand what you're trying to say, but that statement alone, worded that way... I want to kick a kitten. Basically, who is the OMFL's version of the Chiefs in real life? 7 straight AFC title appearances. Who's dominant team here? Come on, Herd. I love you. I know you're in the voice chat here. Come on. I'm giving you credit for... You guys have got... I'm going to stop giving credit for these type of questions. You know who is most dominant. D-Money, D-Wayne. Next question. Do you have anybody else you'd add there?
No, I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say. D-Money, D-Wayne. I mean, they're there every time.
I mean, look, the Kobe's and the Cincy's at times and the Maniac in times, those teams are in the conversation, but start to finish in the last 15 years of this community, it's those two's for sure. Who is the OMFL's season 113 Commanders in real life? The team that's 12-win team with that would be Shiloh. I don't know why you had to ask that question. We have an owner's list. You just go to it and see what everybody is. No, he's saying a team that all of a sudden turns it around that nobody sees coming. I feel like I've been singing his praises for a while, but the Jets and potentially the Packers if he stays off the ganja and doesn't get bored.
Yeah, the Packers would probably be my definite number one. He's been in the basement for however many years, and all of a sudden he's kind of coming out of nowhere. Which we've seen him start 5-0 before, and then all of a sudden the wheels fall off. But I think you have to go with the Packers, and then also the Patriots. I think are kind of another one that could easily, go on that run. We saw him do that last season, made it to the playoffs, and it hadn't been in the playoffs in a while. And so I think that you have to look at those guys. I think also Colts are another one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not too far away from being removed from
good call
from being in a bowl game, last Madden, but he's struggled so far, and now he's in the thick of things. So.
I think you asked this question to the most two boring guys. I guess I've never actually asked this to Maniac, but I assume that neither one of us actually drink adult. Oh God, I need a gummy. I need one of these gummies. Neither one of us, I think, drink adult beverages, at least not often. While watching an OMFL game, do you prefer a brewski, a mixed drink, or what's your drink of choice? I'm just a boring fellow with water, so that's about it. Even though after tonight, I might fill this with whiskey and see how that goes. 'Cause this is a tough one to get through these questions tonight, y'all. We need to get Grammarly. Y'all need to get Grammarly.
Sweet
it's
tea,
free.
man.
It'll help y'all out. So Maniac is a sweet tea drinker. I'm straight water. That's about all I drink. I'll sprinkle in some lemonade every now and then, or that's about it.
About the most spiking of my drink is going to be if I put lemon in it.
Dr. Pepper for me.
That's hilarious. Little Dr. Pepper spiking. I might spike it on the floor after playing some of y'all. I suck at this so bad. Kobe's Kush. That sounds like that could make some money somewhere. I like that. Oh God, let's put a bow on this show. I got to get to bed. It's 11:30. It's freezing outside too. I got to go see if it was sleeting a while ago. Go see what's going on out there. Put a bow on the show, Maniac.
It was a good show. It runs along as normal, but man, some of these questions was crazy and funny at the same time. So no offense to anybody, but man, that was a good chuckle, and glad we got the season going. Be patient with the All Madden.
That's funny.
Remember, we're all human. So
yeah, that's funny. Some of these guys make it sound like I make personal decisions. Like I go, how can I piss this one guy off as much as I can? Oh, I know what I'll do. Just for him, I'm going to do this. Guys, we were just having fun with the questions tonight. The questions are great. You guys are doing awesome. I love the interactions. But who wants to listen to a boring show where I just sound like a robot for 2 hours? So we're just trying to have some fun tonight. Keep the questions coming. Also, look into Grammarly. It might help you, some of you. It's a little Grammarly. It's free. I use it because Lord knows I'm half retarded, so I need all the help that I can get. I don't know what to say. I suck at this game. I feel you. I'm frustrated, just like all of you. But Raj always motivates me. This guy, also doesn't win a ton here, but yet every single season is just like steady Eddie, Mr. Positivity. He's active in chat. He doesn't threaten to retire. He doesn't threaten to come over and slap your wife. He threaten to sue you. He, doesn't say you cheated, even though I've seen some serious FPR against me the last 2 seasons. You guys play me. You got to tighten it up a little bit, all right? You playing the commissioner here. I think overall things are what they are. Let them play out. Let's see how it plays out. I'm not making any judgments. It's also hard for me to make any judgments because I am the worst player and have the worst team literally in the league. And I just made that decision to hit the reset. My team's very old, and so we finally hit. Kamara retired and Demario retired and Matthew semi-retired. Like all these guys got really old and really expensive, and I just had to do what I had to do. And I didn't draft well, and guys draft better than me every single season. I got to figure that out. I put a lot of work this year into the draft, like more than normal. And yeah, I still didn't draft well. So I guess I started asking for a cheap.
Right now, telling the whole league, when it comes to Nate's pick, let him pick, guys. I'm advocating for when we're doing the show that you at least have 5 minutes to make your pick, because you're so sidetracked. I mean, you don't even know what's going on because you're trying to talk about everybody else's stuff. You need at least the opportunity to stop and really focus on your pick. And I think
I appreciate that.
I think that's a disservice to you and to the community as a whole, because we're rushing you through and you're providing all this content for us and stuff. I think it's the least we can do is like let it pause, let Nate make his pick, and then we'll roll.
I also think Madden's made it crazy easy to kind of find what you needed, and I don't know if I got many excuses this past year. I just didn't draft well at all. I haven't in this whole sort of cycle, but we'll see how it plays out. How'd the national championship game go? Is it over? Where are we at with that?
It is over. Last seen on my phone, it looked like Ohio State was there.
Guys, baby.
There you go. Well, it was a good game. It looked like Notre Dame tried to make a game out of it. So congrats to them. Guys, stay safe. We've got this winter blast. We are going to get 6 to 10 inches of snow in New Orleans. And I'm just telling you, that's never happened in the recorded history of the world. Big Hurt, negative 17 degrees. I heard Minnesota's negative 25. I can't even wrap my head around that. Stay safe. Be careful out there. And I'm going to try to go enjoy it. We never get to see snow. I've seen snow less than 5 times in my whole life. So we're going to go have some fun in it and enjoy running the fireplace and have a good time. So we'll be back at it. Guys, I love you. Thank you, Maniac. Thanks for Big Hurt and Trey jumping in here. Sorry I didn't see you sooner. I would have asked your opinion, but I'll try to pay attention a little bit more next time. And Priest, we're going to make a snowman and have some fun. And I'm just a little sad that I won't get to enjoy it with the granddaughter, man. It would have been so much fun to enjoy it with her, but she's not around. And so I'll just have to enjoy it through her pictures, but we're going to go try to have some fun. Guys, I got to get out of here. I got to get to bed. I got to go to bed really bad. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you. Know that you matter. I love you. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Doses.
Smash that like and subscribe.